Hi, it's Susie from Pink Diamond Guide. Oh, and we're off to a good start, knocking everything over. You've just got me tonight. Ricky's put in a big day in his job out there doing civil construction that he does. He puts in a massive day, so he's needing a bit of a break. We got through the middle of the week. We've had our big move and everything. We'll let him off this once, I think. So you just got me tonight reading and keeping our finger on the pulse of these current energies that we're moving through. And I think today the aspect that I wanted to read is finally, after much ado, our internet connection stabilized. And I went, that's really interesting, given the way that we were talking about last night, how energy was communication was going to progress, and it would start to get smarter, more logical, and to come online in a more serious way, I suppose you'd say. So to have everything settled today, and it just settled all of a sudden. It was like drama, kept disconnecting, kept falling over, and then all of a sudden it was stable. And I went, that doesn't escape me. And I did spend some time in meditation this afternoon. And interestingly, how that played out, I've been drawing my Divine Daily Love Oracles, and I've drawn out God's Warriors. And when I draw that card, I really think about the character Joan of Arc and how she was so young, so driven by her spiritual path, and in the end, she came to her doom in tortured, being burnt at the stake. And I was getting these meditations, seeing Joan of Arc in my meditation, going, now what is all that about? So this is like this, she was a revolutionary. She believed in her path so deeply that eventually she was captured, and she paid the price of her enemies fearing her so much that she had to be taken down. And I go, what is that energy all about? What is this God's Warriors energy? What is this communication coming online? And it is fiery energy too, because we can't escape that Joan of Arc got burnt at the stake. She went out in flames. I'm just going to hold this ideas here as I do my reading tonight. I know that seems a little out there, connecting God's Warriors, Joan of Arc, and this progression of communication. And I keep my finger on the pulse and go, why are these things playing out the way that they do, and how is it affecting the collective? So I will read from the aspect of the Divine Feminine, and I do focus on twins in separation for these readings. We'll read this set from the Divine Feminine, we'll draw some for Divine Masculine, and then we'll finish with some Divine Love Oracle and see if we can't draw ourselves a reading on this space of being God's warrior. And Joan of Arc, she just held so true to the belief that she was on a mission. She was visited by angels and driven by those forces to wage the battles that she waged. And I think, not that I compare us to Joan of Arc in any way, shape or form, but the energy is the same. We're driven by something that is, it's not tangible, and it's something that's confusing to other people. Anyway, let's see where this energy takes us tonight. So straight up, Page of Wands, young fire energy. Can't even make that up, can you? Joan of Arc, she was just a teenager. Six of Swords. We've got the Ace of Wands, some more fiery energy. This just feels like a thing. Oh, what have we got? We've got the Lovers in the challenge position. We've got the King of Pentacles as the advice, and we've got the Hermit as the likely outcome. This is a shift, isn't it, Divine Feminine? I'm seeing it intensely. It's a very different read from what we had last night, but not surprising, because we're looking for progressions to take place. We're looking for shifts. We're looking for adjustments. We've got Seven of Cups. We've got Nine of Pentacles. We've got the Chariot. We've got the Two of Pentacles. We've got the Eight of Swords. Is that just one card? and the High Priestess. Ooh, and the Ace of Cups would be the top of the next level there. What is this? Where is this taking us? I just feel it as a really, really interesting shift, this space that I found myself in today. And it really did take me to a place where I had to stop and meditate. I was just like, what is this coming against us? Why has it? And we had the Four of Swords come out last night, and I did suggest that in last night's reading, that spirit might force its hand on us a little bit to bring new healing forward. And here we have the High Priestess really showing up. She is the gatekeeper between the 5D and the 3D, looking to bring information through from those 5D realms and have it manifest here in our 3D space, so that we're able to learn our lessons from that 5D realm, whether it comes through in the dream space or whether it comes through meditation, however you're connecting yourself to that 5D realm. Yeah, I call it via the 4D interface. It's like plugging into the internet. Once you're plugged into the internet, you can download whatever you want, whatever piece of information that is, dying to be understood fully. And the High Priestess is the gatekeeper. Is she like the modem? You turn on the modem and then suddenly you've got, or the device, whatever the device is that allows the information to come through, that process that opens the gate to bring it all. And here I was saying that our technical glitches were over. I spoke too soon, but we're back. High Priestess, gatekeeper of information. So allowing this 5D information to become manifest, and look for that information to be edified. You'll have your own process of how you connect with spirit. And like I was saying, with our Joan of Arc character, she was visited by angels and given messages of encouragement to lead an army into battle. Our mission is a little different from Joan of Arc, but we're still receiving advice from spirit in that way. And then it manifests in what we're having in our 3D world. You'll be edified in whatever process. And I look for that 3 times. That's just my process of how I work. This is kind of like, here's the staircase, the ascension staircase. This is the information coming down. It moves through the High Priestess, through the device of whatever process it is, sleep, meditation, however it gets to come through, and then it manifests in our 3D world. So the push is definitely to get you into a place where you're thinking. And this is legit what I was in today. I was in this really, overly heavy thinking space where like information was downloading at a rate of knots, and I was trying to really process what it all meant. And it does come through in puzzles, and sometimes you've got to piece it all together, but this putting you into an overthinking space is part of what your ascension journey is actually entailing. I would not be surprised at all if you're feeling really up in your head right now with what spirit is trying to download for you. Now here you've got this trying to juggle the 5D and the 3D realm. I would not be surprised at all. That's why the Two of Pentacles is here today. Definitely felt this energy of today where I couldn't get traction in the real world. Felt like I was spinning my wheels a little bit to actually get things done. And remember what I said to you, it feels like it's fast-paced energy. I said this in yesterday's reading. It feels like fast-paced energy that takes a long time to complete whatever it is that it's trying to do quickly. It's a really, really strange space to sit in, and it can put you in this space where you feel like you're juggling. You're juggling what you have to do, what you need to do, you're juggling what you're thinking about, you're juggling what you're feeling, and then it feels like everything quickens again, and you're going game on, game on, game on, and then you get stuck in your head of going, Joan of Arc? Why am I thinking about Joan of Arc? What significance has she got to play in this role? But when you get sort of caught in this this realm with the high priestess where spirit is trying to give you a piece of the puzzle, so it gets you through to the next phase. It can fully get you here, and we've been looking at that over the past couple of nights. And, I was kind of seeing it as a cycle of pain coming forward, and it may manifest differently for everybody. So, twins come together in waves. Your ascension journey is quite independent. For mine, this is coming through as understanding the martyr that was Joan of Arc. For you, it might be understanding a facet of pain that you're processing that has some higher element attached to it. However this plays out for you, I would suggest that there's, the pain part of it may have passed, and now you're in the processing part of going, I'm downloading what I need to know, I'm overthinking a little bit, and it's got me in a place where I might be juggling what my 3D and my 5D worlds are looking like at this point. Then we've got the next layer of energy, which is, again, well, I like that this comes through because I don't want to get stuck in this any more than you do, like this space of feeling like you can't get traction. That's what I want to call this energy. It's like you can't get traction. But the next level of energy really is designed to push us along. Look at the Chariot. It's one of the fastest paced energies that you can imagine. And, you pair that with this where you go, this is kind of really stagnant, isn't it? Getting stuck in your thoughts or being in a mental prison, and it's hard to get out of your thoughts. But Spirit is saying then all of a sudden, the next moment, you're going to be charging off at a rate of knots that you can barely fathom. This is not a prison. Eight of Swords can be, but you can get yourself out of this overthinking process. You can, and sometimes it's like a juggle for sure, and Spirit does not want us stuck in there. Clearly they want us to be able for real. Here I am saying that you got to put the puzzle pieces together quickly, and this reading is going to make me stitch all these pieces of information together. Oh, it's a stitch up. Almost feels like it. Anyway, progressing, moving right along. Chariot wants us to move quickly into the next piece of information, even if we're not done processing, which is what it feels like. It's like I can't get traction. Why is it that information is coming at a rate of knots, but then I feel like I can't fully progress into the next phase of what's about to happen? Nine of Pentacles, she comes along. We talk about this a lot, Divine Feminine, that this is all the work you've done so far, all of the lessons that you've already been through, everything that you know about the journey so far, everything you know about yourself. This is like if the goal of ascension is that you get 10 out of 10 pentacles, which is, one of the biggest cards in the minor arcana, 10 of pentacles is really living quite satisfied. And 9 out of 10 pentacles gets you the 9. And the only thing that you're missing is that twin flame connection, or that relationship that you value, the union that you value. Spirit is going, come on, I need you to figure out these puzzle pieces at a rate of knots, and then I'm going to slow you down again. It's a wow of an energy. And what I want to say is that it is going to clear up by the end of the month. We are going to move into more clarity as we go, and things are going to get more logical. It's going to start to make more sense, and we're going to have, be able to express ourselves more clearly. But up until that point, here we're faced with these 7 of Cups, which is, I go, wow, that's tricky energy. Wow, that's tricky energy. Here we are, we're doing all of this work, all of this process that's coming down, and we've got the High Priestess going. She's the gateway. She's letting information through. She's letting this information inundate us to a place where we get up in our heads, overthinking and possibly juggling what's going on between the 3D and the 5D. Then Spirit says, I don't want you to muck around too long because you're 9 out of 10. I need you to get to the 10. Choose an option. Choose an option on what? We don't even know what the options are. In these cups, you can't see what it is that you're choosing quite yet, because it feels like, for mine, it feels like I haven't quite caught up to what the lesson was about or what the information was about. But it's asking to choose a cup to pass away. Because this card is about options, but how I'm reading it is Spirit is going, choose a cup, choose a path, choose a way. And Joan of Arc was that character. She she had to front, she had to choose. She was giving these messages by the divine and told, go forth and conquer. And it was really, you know, she didn't know what the outcome would be other than that God was directing her to take on this path, to take on this mission. You can probably hear the hesitance in my voice because as I'm talking to you, I'm in this energy. I'm trying to unpack a puzzle piece that hasn't quite made sense to me, but Spirit is saying choose a path and go for it. Choose an alleyway, choose a lane, choose your moment to really progress yourself forward. Lead the way into battle. Oh, I don't even know why I'm saying the things I'm saying right now, but it does. It feels like this energy of go after that last pentacle, go after that, choose that lane to learn and study. Here I was talking about this page of wands. We've got this fiery energy, and the page is, it can be represented as a young person, and wands is our fire symbol. So again, I'm led back into that same energy. We had this really fiery young woman who led armies into battle and won. And she shouldn't have been taken seriously. She should have not been the one to offer a throne to a king. It should not have been that person. And I wonder if all of in all of this breaking down, if you're asking the question, am I the one to be carving the path for all of humanity? Are you looking in the mirror and having, do you feel like there's a bit, I want to say imposter syndrome, like you go, why has this task been bestowed upon me? Are you feeling like why have I been chosen? Why is it my soul? Why is it my mission? Why is it my journey? And then out of that, you can go, I can feel like I want to turn my back on it. And this has come up a few times. It definitely does, where it goes, I don't understand why it's my mission to do this. I don't understand why other people have an easier run at love and life, and why my soul would have taken on something as painful as a twin flame journey. Sorry if I'm holding them off screen. I'm just really, sinking into a different place. And because the energy shifted for me today in a pretty dramatic way. It felt like some kind of, I said it last night, an internal rebellion. Something inside of me shifted today that made me just, it feels like I just want to carve a path for people, like I've never wanted to do it, but like I've never wanted it more. Like I really want to help this mission to, that Joan of Arc energy. I can't even describe it, and I'm sorry if I'm talking around in circles for this reading tonight. And I hope that if it's reaching one person and it's making sense, then I feel like my job was done in saying what I'm saying. That, to truly understand what it is to be a twin flame is to understand what it is to want to fight for other people. I know that sounds really, really. I feel really vulnerable in saying what I'm saying tonight. In that, it does make you want to fight for other people. It makes you want to help open their path. It makes you want to, when you understand the mission and you understand, because we go through so much suffering as part of this journey, we understand pain at levels that, not everybody does. A lot of people go through heartbreak in this life. Don't get me wrong. But not everybody is a twin flame. And there's relationships that should be walked away from. There's relationships that definitely should be walked away from, and you shouldn't turn back, because they're never going to evolve. They're never going to turn into anything other than what they are. You could have been messing around with someone who does have narcissistic tendencies. Let's say those people are out there. You could be messing around with somebody who will never evolve spiritually. They're just very, very much grounded in the way that the world works. The world is going to shake everybody up. Soul ascension is going to happen, but twin flames were sent here to carve the path. And we have gone through this ascension journey in a way that's been brutal, and Divine Feminine has gone first. And I feel like this is kind of the energy that we're finding ourselves in, going, I just want to pack up these swords and really understand what this journey is that I'm on. I don't see this as walking away from it, where it really could. Six of Swords is leaving pain behind and moving to new horizons. But I feel like she's sailing away with her pain. And she's going, I understand that this was what I chose for myself. I understand that I chose to come down here in the mold of a Joan of Arc as a God's warrior, as a divine warrior, to carve a path. And sometimes when that information settles upon you and you really think about why you're going through what you're going through, it can rattle your cage. Here in your soul space, the Ace of Wands. This is about acting on passion, and like I was saying before, I've never felt more determined. There's something that shifted in my energy today, and you can probably hear it in the way that I'm talking. It's a different energy that's upon me tonight that feels very, very passionate about setting the stage for the next part of the journey. I just feel like there's going to be a big, big surge of understanding, a big, big surge of awakening. This feeling, I want to say it's like an internal rebellion that's going to mend hearts. It's going to break fears. It's going to be big emotions. We're going to lean deep into our pain, and we're going to heal on a level that's not been seen before. Things that have been kept in the shadow, they just can't be there anymore. This Ace of Wands in the soul space, this is what I've been feeling, this energy, a Joan of Arc energy of going, my soul is lit on fire for this mission. I know I'm reflecting just on my energy right now, but and this is going to resonate in different ways for different people at different phases of the journey. But I'm reflecting on what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking, because I think it is. I'm laughing about it now. Like, I'm laughing at this, like it's just turning itself off randomly. So for mine, I feel very, very on track with the idea that we're putting pieces of information together to make sense, because Divine Feminine, we are growing in numbers. We are growing in numbers of those of us who understand the journey, who haven't just fallen in love with the idea of having a twin flame and it's all romantic and lovely and wonderful. There are more Divine Feminine on mission today than have ever been. This is the big feeling that I'm getting, that this movement is growing. It has forward momentum. We have 9 of the 10 Pentacles and saying, choose a path, choose a lane, because it's got to go. What's in the challenge position is the Lover's card. Look at that. Like, seriously. So whatever this big learning curve is, and I've been sort of talking about it over the past couple of nights, but whatever this information is that's coming at you, Divine Feminine, it's serious, and it's going to take a moment to actually put it into place with relation to your twin flame connection. I want to be able to get to the baseline of this for you, but I think that the information is going to be different for everybody. But I want to base it around the idea that you truly understand what it is that you're going to do, or that you pick up your sword on mission in some way, some shape, some form. That you truly understand that this connection has very little to do with the romantic aspect of it. Yes, you get the romance, you get the love, you get the fun, you get all that stuff with it. But it comes under the banner of knowing what you're fighting for, right? And I don't want to sound like I'm being overly dramatic, overly melodramatic, but truly, like the mission of twins is what it's all about. It's not the fluff and nonsense. And if Spirit is pushing you through another round of understanding that, like they're pushing me through another round of understanding that, I just want to say that I see you, and there's more of us on mission and understanding what it is to have your soul ascension journey be as a Divine Feminine on a twin flame journey. And The collective is growing in strength and numbers in making a change. Look at this, the advice from Spirit, the King of Pentacles. Now the King of Pentacles, he gets about business, right? See this? This is what I'm feeling here. This doesn't feel like options to me. The Seven of Cups normally comes about that says you've got options, but the way I want to express it is choose a lane and go for it. Choose a lane and go for it, because here you've got the Nine of Pentacles, and here's the 10th one. You're graduating into this King energy, right? And look at it. It's a crowning glory, and this King knows. He would know how to run a business. He would know how to manage an empire. He would know how to be in charge. He would know how to manage his finances, manage his home, manage his family, manage. He's stable. He knows how to do what needs to be done to move forward in life. And this is you, Divine Feminine. The advice is go after what it is that the Divine is putting in your heart to do. Like whatever is seeding within you right now. And like I'm talking to you about Joan of Arc and going, I've never felt more compelled than I do in this moment to help other twins come into union and understand the mission. It's like she was the leader of an army to go forth and truly bring Charles into his kingdom as the rightful king. Like that was what she was told to do, and that's what she went after. I'm asking you, what's the Divine telling you to do? What's the Divine showing you? What are you experiencing that just feels so compelling that it would push you into the advice that goes, you are on mission, this is your role, this is what you take charge of as you're part of this twin flame connection? I know I'm sounding heavy with this reading, but the energy has really struck me today. And like I say, I'm feeling very, very on mission in delivering the information. And as I'm sharing it, I'm coming into more clarity about what they've been showing me. The Hermit card, this is how I felt today. I took some time out for myself. I just went, cannot deal with another thing outside of myself. I can't. And I had a stupid little moment with my daughter that seems very, very petty, where I was asked to just do one more thing. And it was something I would normally go, yep, not a problem, got that covered for you, no worries. And I didn't. I snapped. I snapped and I went, right at her. And I was like, that's not me. That's not how I operate to feel like I can't be kind in a moment, or that something's too much. It's because Spirit was going, right now you need to be about you. And that last little thing that she could have done for herself that I could have done, it wasn't a big thing, but it caused a big reaction in me. And I'm going, why? Why are you reacting so boldly? And I wonder if you're reacting the same way, Divine Feminine, because you're being called inward right now, right? You're being called inward for whatever this process is that's playing out between us and the Divine. They are calling the collective inward to understand higher consciousness. It's a magnified healing. It is growing. It is talking sense with us. It is exposing what the higher journey is. And will it bring some level of confrontational energy as we're moving forward? The answer is going to be yes. And it's like, forewarned is forearmed, and I was able to come out of that pretty quickly and realize that the influence that was playing out is universal, and I had then the capacity to bring that under control and not let it spiral, right? I needed time as the Hermit today. I needed time to sit with the Divine and meditate and understand what it was that I was being shown. So if this is coming up for you too, Divine Feminine, take the time. Take that space for the Divine to show you what it is that they're trying to teach you, so that you don't. I don't know if you'll end up like I was at wanting to snap at people being quite innocent, because that's not my normal style. So I knew that something bigger was at play that I needed to understand and work through. And we have been talking about that the past couple of days, that the energies have got a bit of meat behind them. Let's have a look. Divine Masculine, what is playing out for you? This is intense, Divine Feminine, and I really did want to get this message across tonight, even if it feels a little serious and a little somber. And I guarantee you, the only ones who've stuck with it are true divine feminines. If you're not a twin flame, this is going to sound like rubbish, right? If you are not on an ascension journey where this kind of thing happens to you, or this energy is playing out somewhere close to you, you would have switched off long ago. So if you're still watching by now, I feel like the rest of the reading is going to be an absolute cracker. Let's see what's going on with divine masculine. All right, just going to do it one more time over here. What's happening with you, divine masculine? How are you faring under these heavy energies? And it's like the end of, just want to say it's the tail end of a hurricane, which it doesn't make sense because it's, the energies have been frenetic, but they've been slow. It's been strange energy, and today it just rained down with a whole heap of intensity. Let's have a look. What have we got, divine masculine? Look, Judgment. We've got the Page of Swords. We've got the Ten of Swords. We've got the Three of Wands. Two of Cups. And the Emperor. What have we got at the bottom of the deck? Again, the Hangman. The Nine of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Ace of Cups. Tower. Do I want to take it? High Priestess, Temperance. I know why it's there. Look, this is this kicking point. I swear to you. And we've been talking about having some kind of a tipping point playing out, which is going to bring about some kind of disruption to divine feminine. She was going to have some big choices to make. Is it bringing on a Tower for that energy is low? I'm not going to take it, but I'm interested to see it there. Let's look at the bottom of the deck here. Divine masculine, feeling out in the cold, trying to understand what this is all about. See what I talk about? The divine brings this cup in, right? The divine is all about understand. You just wouldn't read about it, would you? The amount of times that this camera keeps turning itself off and there's no reason. It is definitely challenges to communication right now, but it feels like that's, it's a thing, and maybe I'm not getting to the bottom of why we're having such a struggle this way, but it's, I don't know. Anyway, moving right along. Ace of Cups. This is the divine truly trying to bring this idea forward of understanding self, understanding twin, and understanding connection to divine love. See this cup running over? It quite literally is this, as if the divine went down and scooped you both in out of that latent energy, right? But you always remain connected to where you come from. You always remain connected to the all and everything. Even over here, look, here you are. This is you, that one scoop, that initial one scoop, and you are poured into the two cups. You are two vessels from that initial scoop, and you're never disconnected. So what I'm seeing here is that he's going, why do I always feel connected, but I'm disconnected? What do we have here? Separation, oneness. It's starting to come into some level of understanding as to how this energy operates. Why does the divine feminine continue to, be a flame? Why does it continue to be a flame? Why do I still feel this pent-up energy around this person? Clearly we've been separated. Clearly we're not in connection. But why does she still exist for me? What is this push? Why do I feel this surge of energy towards this particular person? And I'm calling this out as you, divine feminine. And because look what we've got over here. Come on, divine masculine, getting to mastery. Oh, look, There's Charlie in the background, little black cat. Look at his timing. It's almost like he knows. And thank you for the lovely little messages for Charlie. I did scoop him up and give him a big hug and let him know he was loved. Back to our reading. We have this this energy of mastery playing out here, of going, what we need is divine masculine to really work on that pentacle, to be able to give it to the 9 out of the 10. See this? You are playing out in that energy, divine feminine. We had you over here. So we've got a repeating message coming through. You're both experiencing this feeling of going, I've got a 9 out of the 10 pentacles. Now, divine feminine, you've got this showing up as your 10th pentacle. There it is. It's playing out as the king. Look, that's you getting to business. That's you on mission. That's you knowing what to do. And here, you've got the 9 out of the 10, and here he is working on mastery. Why? Because the divine has got him experiencing separateness and oneness, and coming into some level of understanding. And like we've been saying, this energy around the divine masculine, that they're feeling some kind of a desire or some kind of a push. I was calling it crush energy last night. So for mine, it's definitely rising up within him, and that he's feeling the separation, but understanding on some level that there's a oneness there. Even if it's not fully understood, there's like some level of awareness that's playing out in that energy space. So then we had, again, we're going to go back to that idea of going, there's the 9 out of the 10. You're both representing that same way. That is a definite repeating message. But here we've got the hermit energy. Here you've got the hermit, and here you've got the hanged man. So it's like feeling like things could move quickly or should move quickly, and then going, actually, let's pause. This is time to do the work, time to figure out the mastery, feeling like they know that they have this one extra pentacle that they want to achieve, but not yet quite getting there. So some time understanding, some time working on themselves. They are able to free themselves at any point, and the push is definitely there to make some level of connection. But this is mastery here. Yeah, interesting. Trying to tie this back, and maybe it'll come out in this next section. Judgment. Look here. Wow. Well, let's read this as divine feminine and divine masculine side by side. And I'm referring this back to Joan of Arc, remember? Is being that teenage young woman who had this, she was burnt at the stake. We have this flame, but she was driven by divine guidance. Like she had visits from angels who came down and blasted in her ear and told her what it was she was to do. Now look at this. The divine masculine is having a similar effect. It's causing an effect on you. So how I'm perceiving this, and this is going to be a bit of a stretch and a bit of a loop, but bear with me. Because twins are drawn from this same soul energy, right? They are drawn from this same soul energy, and you are always connected. Even though you sit in two vessels, you're never not connected. Even when you're in those two vessels, there's nothing in the nothing. And look back through past readings. I explain this over and over again, but tonight's not the night to really go through it. There is nothing in the nothing. You are always connected because you were scooped from the same pool of divine energy and poured into two cups. So there's nothing in the nothing. And what affects one is going to affect the other. Now here, if the divine is putting this call out to the divine masculine and going, I need you to work on this level of mastery, right? I need you to get busy on what it is to be a twin flame and be on mission. Guess what it's doing to you, divine feminine? You're hearing the call too. I think this is what I'm picking up on in the collective. It's like that broad call to this wave of twins to get on mission, and I'm feeling it as if it's under the energy of like a Joan of Arc type warrior energy. That's how it's been. Like an angel comes down out of the sky, as is described on the Joan of Arc. You know, like on her, the way her story is played out is that the angels came down and they called her onto this mission. Look what's happening here. Look what's happening. They are coming down saying, masculine, feminine, I'm calling you all onto your mission. And divine feminine, you're feeling it. You're feeling it lit up inside of you, going, I know that I'm meant to be doing something important. I know that this is being lit up inside of me, that I've got everything that I need to be on mission. And you're hearing the divine call across. I'm going to call it this way. You're hearing the divine call on the masculine, and it's firing you up as well. Does that make sense? Oh, it feels like it's making sense to me. And here, the message is received loud and clear, and I would be looking for signs of that. You sit in that energy. You sit in that energy, divine feminine, and you know, because I don't see this as you walking away. I see this as you holding your ground with everything that you know. That you're not in troubled waters. You're not going to sit in suffering anymore. You're going to sit with what you know. And here, when this information comes forward, what you find out, what is communicated towards you, you're going to be, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I know what you think you know. Yes, what you think you know is true. You can come forward. You can express what you've been through, what your soul is. Look at these swords in the back. Like, souls are suffering, right? Souls are suffering, and then under this particular weight of energy, what happens is they want to talk about it. They want to communicate what it is, to say, I've been in pain too. And they're going to be looking at divine feminine to have some level of compassion on that story. And it's a tough scenario to be able to, you know, when you're going through your own version of a wake up call to be able to sit in someone else brings their pain towards you and they've caused you so much pain. How do you get quickly to the seat of empathy? Now, what I want to say to you, divine feminine, is that you're going to get everything that you need from the divine to be able to get through this process. When your divine masculine comes back, it's not easy. It's not easy to just let all of the pain of the past, everything that they've put you through, it's not easy to just let it slide. But and when I say let it slide, it's like it's dealt with. It is, right? But it's how do you put that level of pain, that level of burden, that level of growth, all of the ascensions? Seriously, how many times? That time, that was Charlie, my cat, came and jumped literally on the computer and stopped the recording. I'm like, there is something about putting these puzzle pieces together and sitting with it. Divine feminine, sitting with it. And while the divine masculine gets on with some level of mastery that they're bringing forward, what I was saying is that to find empathy when divine masculine comes back and wants to explain all of the swords in the soul, it can be very, very challenging to sit in an empathic place. Here's the challenge for divine masculine. Look at that, 3 of Wands. So that is having your ships come in. That is having, I want to say, he's going to be struggled to have his pain recognized, is how I want to phrase it. He wants his ships to come in. He wants this connection. I'm going to call it. He wants his twin flame connection. He wants his soulmate. He wants, even if he doesn't know what a twin flame is, if he doesn't know what a soulmate is, if he doesn't have the terminology, if he doesn't understand the doctrine, seriously, so what? He wants this connection with you. You are something special. He doesn't understand why you cause him so much pain, so much frustration. Would almost want to say he's probably looked for a replacement for you out in the world 50 different times, 50 different ways, whether it's through another person, whether it's through substance, whether it's through work, whatever he's done to try and replace you, it has not worked, right? And now he's going, I want my ships to come in, but I don't necessarily understand this connection. And when this comes in, I want empathy to come with it to understand that what I've been through is actually been really, really tough. The likely outcome, Divine Feminine, is that you will have done everything that you need to do to get you both on mission, right? To get you both on mission. You lead the way. You are the leader for this twin flame connection. I cannot see it more clearly than that. I just see that energy of being a warrior for this process. You've cut the path, you've learned what you needed to know, you understand the divine intimately, and now Divine Masculine wants to join you there. And you get to, you're leading the way, they join you. This feels powerful. This feels powerful. Here you are, you're going to do your work, and they are going to stand up. Sometimes the Emperor, like last night when the Emperor came up, I saw it as a cautionary tale. I saw it as a cautionary tale for the Divine Feminine. I don't see it as a cautionary tale for the masculine. I see it that that's where we want to be. Somebody who's taking charge of a process, somebody who's protective and nurturing over this connection. I actually see that as a positive tonight. I don't see it as feeling like I have to say anything cautionary about the Divine Masculine showing up in Emperor energy at this point, because what's in his soul space, if I read these two together, this is why I'm feeling like to see the Emperor there is it's a positive thing in this particular circumstance. Look at him with he's got his red robe on here, but this is how he's presenting to the world. He might be showing up in this particular fashion, which is why it might be hard to receive him, but this is what's going on in the soul. And I think that's what you're going to see, Divine Feminine. It's what you're going to resonate with, and it's how you're going to have this strength to be able to move this connection into its next phase. Righto, Divine Love Oracle. Let's see if we can get through this without it turning off again. But you know what? I don't feel compelled to stop. That's the thing. I feel like I'm supposed to get this message out. I'm supposed to finish. I'm supposed to overcome. I'm supposed to win the battle. Feels like if I'm in a fight, I'm supposed to fight on. I'm supposed to charge on. I'm supposed to do what needs to be done to win. And I'm really feel this push as strongly as I felt it today. Let's have a look. Your message, Divine Feminine. What have we got? Ooh, Odyssey. What have we got for Divine Masculine? Suffering is optional. What have we got for the connection? Wow. Okay. The Odyssey, right? This is powerful, Divine Feminine. Now, because the Odyssey plays out in two aspects, right? Masculine and feminine. You've got two characters. You've got Odysseus and you've got Penelope. Now, Odysseus, he went out on this great big journey, and it like at the end of the Trojan War, and it took 10 years to complete the journey, to be able to return back to his wife Penelope. Now listen to this. While Penelope was away, right, it was this ideal that her king was never coming back. Odysseus was never coming back. That's what everyone would tell her. So she had suitors, one after the other, come forth towards her and try and convince her that they should be her husband, that she should marry them and take over the throne of Ithaca, so that they, and Odysseus was never coming back. But she believed in Odysseus so much that anytime somebody tried to convince her anything other than that he was coming back to her, he would return, that she was not to take another husband, she stuck to her guns. Suitor after suitor after suitor turned away. Now get this. This is why this is particularly fascinating. When Odysseus came back, he hid his identity, or his identity was hidden. She still knew it was Odysseus, right? Even though his identity was completely hidden from her, she still knew her husband. Why? Why, divine feminine? Because of this. Because this, she knew the soul signature. She knew the identity of her husband. Why? Because they're always connected. Look this story up. It's the Odyssey, the story of Odysseus and Penelope, and everything that they had to overcome to be together in this 3D realm. And even this idea, I was just saying to you that when he comes back, that how he's accepted feels like it's not a given, or his vulnerability is not, his ships coming in is not a surety, right? And here we've got the Odyssey, where it's like he comes back to Penelope, but it's not a sure thing that she'll see his true identity. So you might look at your twin coming back and you'll go, everything that you put me through, why the hell should I let you anywhere near me? You could sit in that energy, right? Or you could, like Penelope, understand the journey, understand that all of this was playing, and that her true husband was going to return. And that is the essence of this twin flame journey, is that what returns to you is the truth of who that person is, and that's what you get to walk on with, right? Everything that led you both to the point where you're in mastery, right? Everything that led you there has to be put in a place that's completely understood. It has to be understood. Joan of Arc's story, she was completely pushed by the divine to do what she had to do, and she paid for it with her life. She was burnt at the stake, but she followed every step that the divine put out in front of you. There are big stories throughout history that speak of listening to the divine, and what the outcomes will be, and how it affects those who follow in behind those who listen to the voice of spirit. These are big ideals, divine feminine, and I've had a wow of a day trying to put these puzzle pieces together. I'm not even surprised that this video is doing what it's doing and having to be stitched together. This whole day could feel like a bit of a stitch up. But the Odyssey, there is that level of going, he came back and his identity was not understood. So maybe, perhaps, whatever this intense little chapter is for divine feminine, in understanding the twin flame journey, understanding the role of being a warrior for God, understanding spirituality and higher consciousness, and how it all operates on those higher levels, maybe this is a super important time to get clarity on these ideals. Maybe this is the clarity that's coming in by the end of the month, that anything that's hidden in the dark is not going to be hidden anymore. Being a twin flame is not something to hide. Understanding the journey is not something to be ashamed of, or not to grow out of. For you, if you're not being seen, or if you feel like you have to hide away, if any of these energies are ringing true for you, however it's playing out on your front, whatever is about to be revealed for you, feels to me like it's going to be significant. If you are still watching at this point of the journey, of this reading, divine feminine, this message is for you. This only a twin flame who is truly on mission would still be listening to this dialogue, because it can sound whacked, right? It can sound truly whacked. So if you are still listening, I see you, and I want to be here to support you with anything that you feel like might need clarity over the next little bit. Divine masculine, suffering is optional. Divine feminine, we know this, right? We know that we're not going to sit in pain and turn it into suffering. Pain is going to come along. We know that that's part of the journey. We've understood it. but we know that we've got to feel it to heal it. We know that we lean deep into pain. And divine masculine, I've been sensing this for you for the past couple of days, that you are feeling it, aren't you? You're out in the cold, but what are you feeling for your divine feminine? Some level of passion. It's rising up inside of you. You've got the divine trying to ask you to understand self, trying to understand twin, trying to understand divine love. That's huge. It's asking you to get to work, but it's asking you to do it in a very private way. It's an internal rebellion that will affect dramatic change, that is going to get you out of suffering. Pain is still part of the process, but suffering is optional. And what is the card for the connection? Man, this is coming out a lot. Christ consciousness, and this is the goal. Christ consciousness. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see this as the outcome for this reading, because Christ consciousness, literally to me, this is why this card comes out. The divine says, you are never not with me. You are never walking on your own. You are never separate from your twin. You're never separate from this table. You're never separate from me. You're never separate from anything, anyone. There is not nothing in the nothing. There's this great big, it's like a net of latent potential that connects the all and the everything. And Christ was the one who walked. You can see it across so many ancient mystic cultures, you can, but Christ is the obvious example to look at as somebody who walked knowing they were never separate from the divine. He never doubted it for a second, and because of that, he could perform the miracles that he could. And this is what twin flames are here to understand. Oneness. Oneness, how do they do it? They understand that separateness, right? The suffering and the pain of being separate or feeling like you're separate, then coming to understand that you never really are, that you will see each other and you will recognize each other no matter the disguise, no matter the game that's being played. You will see each other and you will recognize each other, because that energy is destined to walk a particular path. That is the twin flame path, and that is how your soul is going to ascend. Wow. If you've hung in this long with this dialogue, I just want to say hats off to you, and I can only imagine that's what's playing out right now is particularly intense. Whether that is you are connecting with your twin flame and you're meeting your twin flame, or that you are going through a particularly intense ascension process with the divine. We're all at different levels of our twin flame soul ascension journey, and sometimes it'll be that you're connecting with your masculine. Sometimes it will be that you are particularly connecting with the divine. And for me today was all about me and the divine sitting there, trying to understand, putting together some new puzzle pieces, which I know this dialogue might have been a bit long-winded in places, or even a little bit disjointed. Quite clearly I've had to stitch it all together. But if I've been able to help even one person figure out some complicated energies that we're going through this week, I feel like that's me on mission, and this is really, really what I want to feel. You know, right now, this is what I want to be in. I want to be part of the collective, helping other divine, beings ascend and move to the next chapter, and then together we can all help lift humanity. It's big in me today. The mission is alive and well. So if any of this needed extra clarity, because I know it was one of those, it wasn't a light and fluffy one, it was heavy and full of deep dives into ideals that are a little bit out there. But if any of it resonates, or that you feel like you want more clarity, you want to talk to me about any of it, please feel free to leave me a message here or reach out on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, any of those things. We show up on those and share our message of love and faith and hope, and ascending together, humanity ascending together. It's a big thing we're all going through, and just want to let you know I'm here for you. I'm here for you, divine masculine, divine feminine, anyone, wherever you fit on the scale of that scenarios. Reach out. I love the conversation. So that's it from me. Ricky should be back with us tomorrow night, and we'll bring on check what's going on tomorrow. Tonight's been heavy. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. In faith, hope, and love is bye from me for now.